It is Tuesday, which of course means it's time to answer the questions that you guys send in every single week on the Brendan Plays forums at brendanplays.com/forums or in the YouTube comment section down below. You can also leave a voicemail on the brendanplays.com website by clicking the big green button on the right hand side of the page on the home page. You can also support the show by listening in on Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or YouTube, whichever one you'd like to choose. And you can also keep supporting the show by leaving a donation on the PayPal page on the website, or by supporting the Patreon, or, just by clicking that like button on YouTube, or, the heart button on Spreaker, or whatever you're listening from. So make sure you guys keep leaving a rating and keep supporting and sharing the show around. This week, we've got the TLC PPV we need to talk about, Monday Night Raw as well. I watched this week's Raw, and there's a lot of things I've got to talk about this week, because a lot of things I've got opinions on what happened on Raw. I was watching a little bit more intently tonight. I enjoyed Raw, don't get me wrong, but there's some things that I'm quite baffled about, and some things I'm quite confused about. So we'll talk more about Raw later on. I've also had a big week again in gaming. Oh my god, the new not the new ones, but GTA, Vice City, and San Andreas, and GTA 3 as well, is on the PS4, and I have been loving it. So cannot wait to show you guys my experience with those today. I love those games. Great to get back on them. I've been playing the hell out of them, and obviously Christmas is coming up soon, so some more new games coming my way. It seems like I own every freaking game, so every week I'm talking about a new game that I've been playing, but that's just kind of the way it's been lately. That's the season we're in. It's really cool. We'll be talking about everything in the news this week, answering all of your questions. And we'll start the show this week with what's been going on in my week. And now, I know some people don't like it when I talk about myself or talk about this to start the show off, but I wanted to kind of talk about this week. Not much really important really went on this week. I just kind of had a pretty easy week. My girlfriend's been staying with me for the last 2 weeks. She went home today, which means that basically I'll have more time to do videos. When she was here, I kind of felt bad if I would spend too much time on videos, which is why you didn't see too many from me. I mean, I try to do daily videos when I could, but the thing is, to upload a video here, it takes about 7 hours to do a 30-minute Universe Mode video to upload to YouTube, and to render it takes about 5 hours. To physically make the video, it takes maybe an hour or two. That's the easy part, but uploading and rendering takes a long time, and sometimes the render doesn't work, so I have to redo it again, and it's just a long and really tedious process. So a lot of people have been kind of asking me all week, why aren't you uploading more videos? Where's the videos? Those are a few of the reasons why, and I know I kind of promised that I was going to get back on the grind and really get daily videos out and do a lot more Universe Mode videos. Well, I haven't really had the time to do that, but in the next 3 weeks, heading in towards the Christmas and the New Year, I'm going to be really smashing out the videos. Basically, now my girlfriend's gone, I have a lot more time to do whatever the hell I want, because, well, I have nothing to do. So videos are going to be my go-to to fix and cure my boredom. So I've already got a Universe Mode. I've just been recording all night just then. So I'm planning a new Universe Mode to come out tomorrow. I'm also really wanting to do that GM Mode series that I was... my plan for GMO, which was, record like 5 or 10 GMO videos on the trot and just kind of smash them out and get a lot of GMO videos out before the new year. That would be cool if I can get a lot of episodes. It'd be great if I could make, like 10 of them and upload one every day and do double uploads with the Universe Mode or the NBA or videos on the side, something like that to go along with it. So that's kind of the plan, something I really want to do. And the reason... why I probably will be able to do this, and the reason why I was mentioning the upload speeds before, is because next Monday I'm getting an internet upgrade, which is fantastic. And I tell you what a relief, because these 8-hour uploads, 7-hour uploads, whatever it is, are killing me. Generally, to upload a pay-per-view, it may take 24, 30 hours, and I'm not joking, it takes a long time, and people wonder why I can't upload more. It's because this is the reason. It takes so long to upload a video. There's no way I can do 2 videos in a day. I would be spending 24 hours a day with the computer on uploading. It's ridiculous. So it's just a real pain, but hopefully this internet upgrade will sort things out a little bit better. It's not really going to be that super fast. It's going to go back to the speed that I was having pretty much at college, which was about an hour to do a video, to upload a Universe Mode video, maybe 2 hours tops, which is great. I mean, some people might say, "Oh my God, that's so long," but to me, that's heaven. So, an hour or two, I can wait that. That's fine with me. So, if that's the speed that I'm getting, I'm going to be very, very happy. And a pay-per-view might take 5 hours to do. And also will mean that I might be able to stream again on Twitch whilst I'm at this house. Normally, I can't stream ever at this house. So, generally, you'll notice that like last year and even the year before, not so much the year before, I didn't really stream, but last year, during November to March, I didn't stream at all ever because I couldn't. And hopefully now that my new internet upgrade next week, I will be able to stream again and stream hopefully at the same quality, if not better than I was last time, which would be hopefully better. That would be great if my internet is actually better than it was at college. That would be really cool because currently where Australia is getting like an internet upgrade, it's starting to roll out in more places throughout the country, and where I live, it's one of the first places in my state to kind of get it, which is pretty cool. And for some reason, my house is like, I don't live in town. I live like, maybe 10 minutes out of town. For some reason, my house is getting the upgrade, which is so odd because I thought there's no way in hell where I live that I would be getting this upgrade. But it's actually really, really cool that I am getting it. And I'm very, very happy that I'm actually going to be a part of the new upgrade because now I can, finally just do YouTube again. The only problem is my computer, which takes so long to render videos, but I can live with that. One problem is okay, 2 problems is not okay. So hopefully 1 problem will be fixed as of next week, which would be amazing. So I'm going to try and do more videos for you guys. I've got more time in my hands, and I'm going to be gaming a lot. I started my trophy competition this week that I'm hosting on the forums. Basically, on the PlayStation, we compete in teams of 3. There's 4 teams of 3, and each team is trying to earn the most trophies they possibly can, and the team with the most trophies at the end of the day wins. So that's what we're kind of doing right now, and obviously I love getting trophies, so this is right down my alley. I'm hosting it. I'm really putting some time and effort into making it awesome. We did this not long ago. I think it might have been July or June or something like that, and it was a huge success. Everybody really, really loved it, so we're going to be doing that again, and this time it's a shorter competition. Last time it was 2 months. This time it's only 1 month. So I think so far so good. I don't really know if the people that have signed up are really all that into it. The first couple of days, people were really going at it and really trying to get trophies, but it's like 3 or 4 days in now. I'm not sure if everybody's really all that keen. Maybe it's because it's during the week and people, still living their lives. They don't have time to get trophies all day like I do. But hopefully on the weekends, people kind of get back into it. But that's kind of one of the focuses I've got going on now, and obviously playing GTAs and all the other games I've got going on. I want to get back into Fallout again. I got Need for Speed. I got Just Cause 3. I haven't even played them yet. I've got them. I haven't even touched them. I haven't even really had a chance to play Halo too much yet either. So there's a lot of games I want to get to, and I've got a lot of time to do it. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. And I'm looking forward to getting into this week's Monday Night Raw. We might as well segue into it now. This is what all you guys are coming for. Anyways, enough of me yakking on about my day. Alrighty, so basically Monday Night Raw I thought started off really, really good. I really enjoyed the opening segment. It got me hyped up for the show, honestly. That's the great start. The same, start we see every single week. The 20-minute promos, it's boring, it's repeated, it's stale, and I'm glad they switched it up a little bit this week. Now, there's a big rumor going around that on this show they're going to really try and make some major changes. I think Meltzer was reporting that there was going to be major changes on this show, and I think really the only change that they made was perhaps the start, the opening segment. Instead of having, 2 guys come out and cut a promo on each other, there was, 4 teams of 4, which was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie, that was great. I was surprised when the Wyatts came out, and I thought that was cool. And obviously the Dudley Boys coming out, bringing along Rhyno with them, who was the surprise 4th member. As of Rhyno, I think that's an okay decision. I think it was really between Rhyno and RVD for me. Rhyno is obviously in the company. That's fine. I don't think he got a big reaction because I think people kind of like, oh yeah, Rhyno, okay. It's not really a surprise. It's not really like, holy shit, he's back. We haven't seen him for years. Oh my god, he's back. Rhyno's been with the company. He's been on NXT. People know of him. He's been around. We just haven't seen him on the main roster for a while. And I think Rhyno makes sense. He adds that element of size to the group, and he can still go, man. And he still, has that athleticism and intensity that I think the team ECW needs a little bit. I personally would have had Rob Van Dam in there instead because I felt Van Dam could have done some high spots, and obviously being a tables match, he could have done the frog splash off the top rope or off a ladder through a table or something along those lines. Do a couple of high spots and kind of lift the tempo of the match a little bit, because I think the Dudleys, they're still fine, but I think Dreamer's slowing down quite a lot. Rhyno, I haven't watched too many of his matches, but I'm sure he can hang around a little bit. But I think Van Dam, could have just lifted the tempo a little bit. But I think they probably reached out to Van Dam. I haven't heard any word about if they did reach out to him or not, and they couldn't work a deal out. But in the end, Rhyno's on the payroll. He's there. He's on good terms with the company. I'm sure he was more than happy to come do this. So an easy decision to get Rhyno in, and I think that's a good choice. A lot of people wanted Spike Dudley. I'm glad they didn't go Spike Dudley. I mean, the guy is he's small. I mean, he's Rey Mysterio size. I mean, we don't even know if he can go anymore. I haven't seen or heard anything about Spike Dudley in years. Can he still wrestle? He was never really, in amazing wrestling shape. So I don't know. I mean, why would you have Spike Dudley come up against Braun Strowman? Braun Strowman is double his size. It would just be a joke. So at least Rhyno, whilst in terms of height, is getting dwarfed. He's a dwarf compared to Braun, but at least he has a bit of size to him and a bit of believability that he could perhaps hit the gore on Braun and take him down or something along those lines. So I think Rhino's a good decision, and I know Spike, I think for nostalgia reasons only, people would have liked to see that. I wouldn't have minded seeing Spike come out perhaps as the fifth member, and they all of a sudden have the extra odds. Spike does a run-in at TLC, and when they need a table or something like that, out comes Spike and runs the table down, and it helps them out in some kind of small way as a bit of a nostalgia thing to kind of help them get the upper hand. Then he might get taken out by Braun, thrown through a table, something like that. Rather than being in the match itself, instead, the Whites have been going along the whole time saying, we have the numbers advantage, we always, it's 4 against 3, 4 against 2, well, how about 5 against 4? This time the Dudleys, or Team ECW, they have the upper hand, we have the advantage. I think it'll be a nice turn in the works, and, just kind of be a nice little moment in the match, perhaps, and I think that would get a decent pop anyway. It's just a thought, if they wanted to bring in Spike that badly, that's an option they could take. So I really enjoyed the opening segment, but unfortunately I think the show really went downhill from there. We had a Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler match, which was good. It was okay. I just think the fact that Dolph Ziggler has just fallen down the card so much, the reactions are almost gone. To think this time last year he was red hot, Ziggler was on top of the world. I mean, everyone thought, man, Ziggler is finally gonna get there. They're finally gonna give him a push and give him that main event run. Instead, he's now just losing every week, and he's feuding with Tyler Breeze, and this feud has really got no momentum at all. It's 50-50. 1 week Tyler wins, the next week Dolph Ziggler wins. It's a whole problem with the WWE right now. Too much 50-50 booking, and I think the booking as a whole and the whole show was just awful. And it's a major problem, and I didn't really address it last week, but I think it's another one of those problems that you have to add onto the list as to why the WWE, their show quality just isn't good right now. Why isn't anybody getting over in 2015? Well, this is a major reason why. You look at Dolph Ziggler, this time last year, huge reactions, doing great, and look at the storylines that put him in, and slowly, he went down and down and down. You look at Tyler Breeze right now, he just debuted. Does this guy, is he lighting it up? I mean, you might be doing pretty decent, but that's it, because Tyler Breeze has come in, and you look at his wins and losses. He's had a couple wins, and then his feud with Ziggler, he wins, and then he loses. So, it's 50-50. It's just, nobody's benefiting from it. Nobody's getting over from it. You need to have a clear, distinct winner. And I get that. They want to protect both guys in a way. But you have to decide who is going to go over and what's the plan going on from there. And it's just clear they have no direction. They have no plan, and this 50-50 booking is just not working. So it's a reason why the WWE, I think, is struggling. You know, you can't have one guy look invincible one week and the next week he's an absolute joke. Look at Cesaro. He's a perfect example of that. One week he's doing all these flashy moves. The commentators are putting him over. Oh my God, Cesaro is so good. Oh my God. The next week he loses in 5 minutes. You know, you can't have that. It's just backwards and 50-50. It's just, you know, make up your damn mind and go with it. The only guy who gets any strong booking is Roman Reigns, and that's still not working. So whatever they're doing, you know, it's either we push these guys too much or not enough at all. It's just 50-50, and a guy like Dolph Ziggler is, you know, suffering because of it, and Ziggler is all but done at this point. I mean, any hope of this guy ever reaching the pinnacle again is all but gone. I mean, there's rumors that he might give it up in 2 years' time, and I think that's going to be very strong rumors, because I think this guy, he's probably had enough. And I think he's realized, look, I'm not going to make this money ever again. I'm going to take the money while I can, and I'm going to move on to other things whilst I'm still young. You know, what is he, 36, 37 now? He's got to move on because, you know, his career is just going nowhere. And in another 2 years of this, his value is going to diminish quite greatly. So he needs to probably get out whilst he's still relatively on top. You know, you don't want to end up like a Zack Ryder or even an R-Truth for that matter. You don't want to end up like this veteran guy like R-Truth, like Mark Henry, where you're just losing every damn week. And Ziggler can still go. He's still performing very well. You know, he's still in good shape. It's not like he's, you know, out of shape, doing shit matches every week. The guy's still lighting it up. I just think, you know, the crowd has given up on Dolph Ziggler. I've given up on Dolph Ziggler. You know, 2 years ago I was a big fan. You know, when he cashed in Money in the Bank on Del Rio, was that 2013, 2012? I was a huge fan. I was all for Dolph Ziggler. You know, this guy, world champion, hell yeah, let's do it. Now, I don't even care. He's on TV. I don't give a shit. I don't care about him at all. It's just amazing what the WWE can do in a couple of years to a guy. It's incredible. It's just sad. It honestly is. Moving on anyways, and more 50-50 and more confusion. The Divas. Oh my goodness. Please ask yourself, and please, someone in the comments below, tell me, who the hell is the babyface and who the hell is the heel? One week, the Bellas are heels. The next week, they're babyfaces. Can they make up their minds? What the hell are they? Stop changing them every week. One week, the Bellas are out there. Oh, we hate you all. You're all losers. This town sucks. The next week, I'm kicking like my husband. Cheer me, Bremo, let's do it. Oh my God, I'm so great. Please cheer for us. What the hell's going on? And please, Team Bad, stop with this unity crap. Oh my God, it's just so annoying. I mean, the Divas, it's the same thing every week. Team Bad versus Team Bella, Team PCB versus Team... Oh my God, you know, now that Team PCB is no more, now it just has to be Team Bad versus Team Bella every damn week. You know, where's Natalya? Bring her up and have her have a freaking match. Where's Emma? Do something with her. I mean, Jesus Christ, use more divas in the same, you know, four every damn week. It's ridiculous. And don't think, you know, Charlotte and Paige, don't think they've gotten away with this either. They are to blame as just as much. Charlotte, what the hell is going on with her? Is she a heel now? I mean, this must be the most underwhelming and stupid heel turn I've ever seen. I mean, okay, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she cheats with Ric Flair to win. And she cheats on her best friend. And now next week, she's talking about how she doesn't give a shit anymore. She's going to do whatever it takes. She's going to be the dirtiest player in the game. Where did this come from? Wasn't it a month ago she was crying about winning the title? And she was hugging her best friends. And she was betrayed by Paige. Where the hell has this come from? This makes no sense at all. I don't get it. Why is she turning heel? Why are we now having Paige, who just turned heel, versus now Charlotte, who apparently has just turned heel? Why is this happening? Pick one to be the babyface. Pick one to be the heel. Why is that so difficult to do? Why, you know, if they felt as though Charlotte's title reign was not going anywhere, Why didn't they make her heel to begin with and make Paige the babyface? It probably would have worked better. And Paige this week, is she, she's slapping Ric Flair. Is she now a babyface again? I can't keep up. I have no idea what is what. It's ridiculous. I mean, honestly, what is with this confusion? They need to make up their mind. The Divas every week are changing who they are. Every week we don't know. What are they this week? Are we baby faces this week or are we heels? Let's decide. Flip a coin. We'll pick what we want to be before the match. It seems like that's the case. And it's beyond a joke now. I know it's been going on for years. I mean, you look at Alicia Fox over the years. Every week, every time she comes out, she's either a heel or a face. We don't know yet. I mean, the Divas turn more than the Big Show. And that's saying something. I mean, come on. I mean, surely they can fix this. I mean, this is a simple thing in wrestling. Surely they can get this right. Pick a character. Pick which side of the fence you're going to be on. Because it's not about a grey area. There is no grey area. Because one week they're heels, the next week they're babyfaces. It's no in between. And they're not tweeners. Charlotte is not a tweener. The fans are not going to be cheering for her anymore. She has to be a heel after her actions on Raw. She has to be a heel, so there's no grey area. There's no in between. They're just deciding one week we're going to be baby faces, the next week we're not. And I just don't get it. I just don't get why. Paige was a legitimate heel turn. This one from Charlotte was not. It was, I don't know what to call it. I mean, it was just one of the writers, are they panicking? Are they worrying about Paige? Do they need to bring Ric Flair out there to create any kind of interest in there? I don't know, man. It's just, honestly, I don't care about the Divas at all right now, because how could you? How could you? I mean, how can you care when you don't even, you can't even keep up with this ridiculousness? We also had The Miz and Neville. Is The Miz now? I mean, okay, The Miz is more of a heel, but what's the deal here? The Miz is going to try and give Neville a makeover. Are they going to try and make Neville turn heel? Are they going to give Neville a haircut? Are they going to change his attire? Are they going to try and make him a movie star? God, no. The guy can't talk. The thing I would like to see is go with it. Make The Miz a manager for Neville. It worked wonders for Sandow, which, by the way, that guy is not on TV. Why? I have no idea. On a time where they need some entertaining wrestlers, where's Sandow? He's one of the most entertaining they've got, and he's sitting in catering next to the Ascension and Zack Ryder and Heath Slater and Fandango. All these guys are not on TV. What a waste. Most of those guys don't deserve to be on TV, to be honest. But so I think The Miz, his wrestling days are going to be over. The guy in the ring, nobody cares. But him as a manager and as a personality, I think certainly can work. I think he's a good talker, and he can certainly get enough heel heat. I think he can be a decent heel manager. So honestly, I think if they wanted to turn Neville heel, which is going to be difficult because Neville is a high flyer, all his movesets are basically baby face written all over it. If they wanted to try and turn him heel, that could work. If they wanted to tease it and perhaps do a feud with Neville and The Miz, I guess that would be okay. But The Miz in the ring, I just think it loses the interest. I think The Miz, like I said, he's got to go into a managerial role. I think that's the right call. So I don't know who the best fit would be. I mean, I always said months ago, having Tyler Breeze and The Miz pair up, the supermodel and the famous actor would have worked wonders, but for some reason they never went with that. And again, even now they're not going with that. So I think The Miz and Neville as a pair would be so odd. I just don't think it would work. I can't imagine it working. So I have no idea what they're going to be doing now. I'm guessing a feud will be coming of it, and we are having quite a number of lower card feuds. And we got Titus O'Neil. For some reason, he's not with Darren Young at the moment. I don't know why. By the way, Titus O'Neil, he's great on the mic. I really enjoy. I've actually been enjoying the backstage stuff, with him and Stardust. I actually have been enjoying that. Just when the Stardust gets in the ring, I don't give a shit. That's the thing, But the Stardust, his backstage stuff, I don't mind those. I think he and Titus, they play well with each other. So I'm liking that little interaction that they're having. But Titus O'Neil warning Alberto Del Rio, why was he trying to save the heel in the match? That was, again, a confusing point on Raw as well. I get it that he's in a feud with Stardust, and he wants to kind of make sure that Stardust doesn't get the upper hand on Del Rio, but again, why would he warn the heel? It just kind of doesn't make all that much sense in terms of heel this heel. But so I don't know, whatever. But so that's another one of the kind of things going on. And also, we've got to talk about it. Adam Rose. Everybody knows I love Adam Rose. And if you can't sense the sarcasm in my voice, then yes, I was being sarcastic. Adam Rose fucking sucks. And this new gimmick of his is god awful. It is abysmal, it is dreadful, and it needs to go right now. It is terrible. There is no redeeming value of it at all. It is awful. I mean, cringeworthy is the best way to describe it. And I feel sorry for Adam Rose that he's being forced to do this thing. I mean, is he playing like a gay character on TV? Honestly, because Adam Rose, he just screams gay to me, the character. I know the guy is married in real life, whatever, but his character just screams gay to me. And, I'm not homophobic, but that does just not interest me. The whole gossip column thing doesn't interest me. I'm not a teenage girl. I don't really care about gossip. And it's mostly fake. It's mostly shit. It's not going to work. It's just terrible. So I hope they drop it. I don't think we'll see much of Adam Rose again, because it just, everyone I've heard talk about it has given it negative reviews. I don't think anybody is really digging it. If you are, let me know in the comments below. But I tell you, I just can't get into it. I mean, I was okay with the whole Exotic Express thing with the bunny and all that. I could tolerate it for a while, but after a while it just got terrible and more and worse and worse and worse. This time, last week I didn't mention it because I was going to give it a couple weeks to kind of let it develop, but I can't stand it anymore. 2 weeks and I'm over it. So Adam Rose has got to go. That's just awful. Moving on to kind of like the main event of things, but before we get there, it has to do with the main event slightly, but Jack Swagger and the League of Nations. So Swagger's obviously up against Del Rio. What I want to see is Team America versus the League of Nations. Obviously, the League of Nations is these European, it's the British, Bulgaria, I should say, Ireland, England, and Mexico. I might as well just name the countries rather than the continents. So it's those 4 countries as a group. So why don't we see a Team America team come along? Obviously, Swagger can be involved with it. I'm not sure who the other 3 would be. Probably Mark Henry. He's represented America. He loves America. Whatever. Perhaps you could bring up Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. Obviously, Gable was a part of the American Olympic team. I mean, I know it's a little bit soon for those guys, but hey, it's an option for a short-term thing. It's an option. Obviously, I know Kurt Angle probably isn't on the market right now, but that would be a really cool thing to see him back for that. So I'm not sure, but I think I'd like to see a Team America group. I think that would be cool to see them come up against the League of Nations, and I'm sure after the whole Roman Reigns thing is done with, that might be the way they go with it, because it's easy. It's we've seen a lot of Team America versus Russia, versus Bulgaria with the whole Rusev thing. So I think it's been done to death a lot, but still, I would like to see it. So I want to see who they kind of form up with. Obviously, Swagger will be involved, just in terms, just a matter of the other 3. I mean, we can throw Ryback in there, and, like I said, Mark Henry. We can bring back Kane if we have to. All the usual guys we can see in there, but hopefully, if they do it, somebody different. Like I said, Gable and Jordan would be an option. I say that because I watched the Breaking Ground today, and I haven't quite caught up yet. I watched episode 4, I believe, today, so I've got a couple more to catch up on. Obviously, I need to catch up on everything. I've been missing everything this week, the last 2 weeks, I should say, since I've been moved out and come here. I haven't really been caught up with everything. But, so I caught up a little bit on Breaking Ground, and, I was watching them today, and I felt, look, hey, yes, they're a new team. They've got a long way to go, but it's an option. Hey, why not? Something different, something unexpected. You never know. You give these guys a chance, and who knows. But it's certainly an option down the line. A Team America group would be cool. And obviously, at the end of the show, we had Reigns and Sheamus. And, honestly, the promos earlier on from Roman Reigns, the backstage thing with Renee Young was okay. But the big problem I had with Reigns and Sheamus, it's just, you can feel that these guys are just reading off a script in their mind. They're just going over the script over and over in their mind, just reading word for word for word. It just feels so scripted. And it's hard to get into the segment for me. I can just feel it's so scripted. And the same thing was, I could feel it when Randy Orton would cut a promo. You just knew it was just scripted. And it just doesn't feel natural. It just doesn't feel right. And I just feel as though these scripted promos are really taken away from it. I know Sheamus on the mic is just so goofy and cringeworthy. It's terrible. I think Reigns, his mic work, like I said, the backstage interview was pretty decent. I think he's getting better. He has gotten better. He's obviously no Rock, he's no CM Punk, he's no Chris Jericho, but he's decent enough. But the thing is, they gave him way too much mic time this week. They have to minimize his mic time because he's not a great talker. So why are they making him talk this week? He had more promo time than he's had in a long time, in months, if not a year. I can't remember. You have to go back to his whole fairy tale promos, that he was doing last year that he had this time. That he had this long of promo time. So I think he's just getting a little bit too much time, and I think, too much is not good. A little bit of time, a minute promo, short and sweet burst is the best for Reigns. And this week, and for Sheamus as well, he is not a good talker at all. I don't care about the accent. It's not the accent. He just does not connect with the fans. And this whole tater tot thing, at least I got a reaction. And the crowd tonight, to be fair, was pretty decent, considering that a lot of the crowds in the last few months have been pretty bad. So this one was decent enough. It was okay. And it got a reaction for most things. And they kind of got into it a fair bit. So that was good to see that the crowd actually gave half a shit tonight. But I just could not get into the main event segment at all. The promo dragged on for way too long. Sheamus took forever to get in the ring. Got to clear out the chair, got to clear out the ladder, got to clear out the table, then I'll get in the ring. And I didn't even really watch or pay attention to the brawl, to be honest, because I just lost interest. And we've seen them brawl now. Why do we need to see them at TLC? It's kind of like, well, we've seen them fight. Do we need to see the TLC? I get it, it's a sneak preview. But I just think they brawled for a little bit too long. And it might have taken away from their match at TLC a little bit. And I don't think it's really done all that much to hype it up. I don't think I'm really all that hyped to see this match. And I get it. Sheamus is the world champion. I have no care for Sheamus at all in the world. But I just think that they didn't do a great job in building this matchup up. I think they just spent too much time and they kind of exposed the weaknesses of both men. And I get it. Them brawling around is probably their best strength. But I still think that their delivery of the promo earlier on didn't really do the segment much justice, and I think it fell away towards the end. But I guess we'll kind of segue into TLC predictions, and I think TLC can be pretty good. I think there's a couple matches on there I'm really looking forward to. Definitely the Elimination Tag Team Tables match is probably my most anticipated. I think that's going to be a good one. I think the ladder match for the tag team titles between the Usos, Lucha Dragons, and New Day, that'll be a fun match, and I think Kevin Owens and Ambrose will have a good one-on-one matchup as well. But we'll go from the top to the bottom. TLC match for the World Championship, Reigns versus Sheamus. I think Sheamus walks away with the title. I think Reigns won't win it back this soon yet. I think they might hold off until the Rumble before Reigns wins it back. I can see an interference from the League of Nations getting involved. The Usos and Ambrose try and get involved, but in the end, Sheamus gets and bro kicks a distracted Roman Reigns and climbs the ladder and wins. It's going to be a very fuck finish. It's got that written all over it. People are going to run out. People are going to get involved. There's no way that these groups are not getting involved. And by the way, again, these groups all appearing on multiple segments again this show. I get it. A lot of guys in this group were in this matchup, and they have to kind of use these guys again. But when you have every guy in every group appearing twice on the show, or maybe 3 times on the show, it just feels like you're seeing it over and over again. You get tired of seeing them. You just move on. Let's see some other guys. So, when you see Rusev three times on the show, or Sheamus 6 times on the show, you just kind of it's just over it. You just want to see something different.
By the way, guys, I just kind of realized I was having the wrong microphone being used in the first half of the show. I really apologize for that. Hopefully it wasn't too bad quality. I apologize quickly for that one. I don't know. When I started recording, the right microphone was in and it was all working sweet, but I don't know what happened. So something's gone wrong and the wrong microphone was being used. So I apologize for that. Hopefully things weren't too bad. But anyways, moving back to TLC. So, TLC, I think Sheamus will win. I think we've kind of talked about that one enough. Ambrose versus Owens. I can't see Ambrose winning. I think Kevin Owens wins clean. New Day will retain the tag team titles. Pretty clear what's going to happen here. The Dragons and the Usos will both be on the top of the ladder, and probably Xavier Woods will get involved or something like that, or some kind of cheap way to kind of win the matchup. They'll cheat somehow and keep those titles. I think Charlotte will keep the Divas title over Paige. If they're going to turn Charlotte, I think it's pretty clear that Ric Flair will get involved, or she'll do some kind of dirty tactic to hang on to it. It just seems as though they're going to be clinging on to Charlotte for as long as they can, trying their best to get her over. I'm not sure if they can, but I'm sure they're going to try their best to make sure that it does happen. There's no way that Del Rio's losing to Swagger. I didn't even know it was a chairs match for the US title, but apparently it's a chairs match. I guess when they did the whole chairs segment on Raw, they made it a chairs match. I kind of missed that. So it's a chairs match. Del Rio will definitely beat Swagger. No doubt about that. Elimination tag team match for the Elimination Tag Team Tables match. Dudley's, Dreamer, and Rhyno team ECW versus the Wyatt family. I think the Wyatt family will win. I think this one's going to be cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. And like I said earlier, the Spike Dudley run-in possibility, I think that'd be a pretty decent idea to do, but I think in the end, the Wyatt family needs to win. There's no reason why these old ECW guys should be going over. I know it's nostalgia or whatever, but the Wyatts, they need a win as a group. After losing to the Brothers of Destruction, they need to pick up a win ASAP. So I'd like to see the Wyatts go over here. So that's pretty much TLC. I mean, there might be some more matches announced. I think Rusev and Ryback may have a matchup. I'm not sure where else. They might do Neville and The Miz in the pre-show. Ziggler and Tyler Breeze again. I could probably see that happening. So those are some of the other matches I would expect. But then, who really cares about those ones? So, big rumor going around this week. Sami Zayn will be returning next week to NXT, which is good news. Finally, somebody is coming back rather than getting injured. Zayn coming back, but he's coming back to NXT. What a bit of a... I guess it's a bit of a disappointment. I would like to see him come back and do the NXT TakeOver special in London, which I think he's probably going to be on. Maybe he makes an appearance, maybe not. Maybe he has a match, but kind of be his send-off and move up to the main roster. I think it's time that he moves up, and I think they could use somebody like Sami Zayn to kind of bolster up that mid-card a little bit more, and, be a challenger for Del Rio. I'd like to see, Zayn versus Del Rio could be a decent feud. Who else we got? Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Obviously, that's the big one. I think that's the one we really want to see. I would like to see that as a WrestleMania match. I think that there's enough build-up there. The NXT rivalry, the NXT history, perfect match to do at WrestleMania. It really would deserve that kind of match up there. So I'd love to see maybe Zayn returns at the Royal Rumble. Both Zayn and Owens are in the Rumble at the same time. Maybe Sami Zayn eliminates Kevin Owens in the Rumble, and they kind of go from there. It's a pretty simple way to do it, but hey, sometimes simple is effective, and I would like to see that happen. So Zayn and Owens at WrestleMania, make it happen. But certainly an option to do Zayn and Del Rio in the time being, or something like that, if they want to rush him back to the main roster soon. I don't think they will. I think they'll probably keep it in NXT. For some reason, they just want to keep it in NXT forever. But I definitely think if he didn't get injured in that Cena match all those months ago, he would probably be on the main roster right now instead of Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens may have still made it to the main roster, but I think Zayn probably maybe not have beaten Cena for that title, but, didn't even beat Cena for the title, but Kevin Owens didn't beat him for the title, but, maybe not have won the Intercontinental Championship or, any title for that matter, but I think he would have been doing okay here on the main roster. The other big bit of news this week was after Mick Foley trashed the WWE, his son got hired. So Dewey Foley, which apparently he got hired a couple months ago, so even when Foley trashed the company, Dewey had already been hired. Apparently, I think he wants to finish off his degree or something like that, or some other prior commitment before he joins the WWE, which is good, good for him. I think a lot of people kind of wondering, is Dewey Foley going to be the man to kind of fix creative? And the answer is no. I mean, the guy is a creative assistant. He's really not going to have much say at all. He's just going to be sitting in the meetings, probably listening in, and just kind of giving an idea here and there. I don't think he's really going to have much to say. But it's a foot in the door for the guy. I mean, he can really kind of, spend a few years in the company and slowly gain some credibility among the guys and creative behind the scenes. I think because he has Foley as his last name, they'll give him a little bit more attention earlier, and he won't have to earn his stripes as much as the other guys have to do, which could be an advantage for the guy. But I think he probably will have a bit of extra heat backstage. I think people will be like, well, he's Foley's son, he's got to do this. They'll have a bit more of a high expectation on the guy, so it's going to be a little bit more pressure for him. So I think he could be a good addition to the creative. I think the guy's young. I think he's like 22, 23, and they need more young people, I think, in there, because the company is so outdated, and some of their beliefs and morals and ethics are so outdated. I think a lot of the higher-ups, you look at Vince, he's 70 years old. They got a lot of old-time wrestlers in there. So a lot of the guys who are calling the shots and working in creative and working with talent are very old, and they're not really in tune with what's going on, what's working in current-day wrestling. And obviously Foley has been keeping up to date with blogs online, doing creative suggestions there and kind of doing his thing there. So he's been paying attention to wrestling for quite some time now, and I think he could have some good opinions and perhaps some good ideas to share on the product. So I think him being there, he may not have much of a role just yet, but him being there is a step in the right direction perhaps. And obviously Mick Foley can obviously text his son if he has an idea or a suggestion or advice, and that's a pretty good guy to kind of have on your contacts list to call. So that's a good thing, I guess, for Dewey Foley, so good luck to him. And the other last bit of news that we have is Lesnar and Cena perhaps returning soon. I think Lesnar is now confirmed to be on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view show. There's some rumors that he'll be returning in the next few weeks, I think. They're kind of pushing forward his return. Obviously, the ratings are down. They need Lesnar back. So I have no idea where they're going to go with Lesnar. Is he going to win the Rumble? I think that's my prediction. If he's in the Rumble match, he's going to win. There's no doubt about that. There's no way Lesnar would get eliminated in that Rumble. But I have no idea. Is the WrestleMania match, apparently the rumor is Kevin Owens versus Lesnar. And I for one, do not want to see that. I think Kevin Owens is not a big enough name for that. And I don't think there's really a need for that. I would much rather see Zayn versus Owens. There's a lot of story there. That's the right call. And I would much rather see Brock Lesnar versus somebody else. But who is that somebody else? No Rollins now. No Orton now. Cesaro was never going to be there, but he's gone. No Daniel Bryan. So who does Lesnar face? That is the question that I just don't know. So I guess Kevin Owens is an option. I guess Kevin Owens might have to be the guy in the end. So I'm not sure where they're going to go with this, but I think Lesnar back is a good thing. Cena apparently is coming back soon. A lot of rumors that he might be back at TLC. I think it's possible. I'm not sure if it's likely. It just depends, Cena's schedule. I don't know what they're going to do with Cena when he comes back. Are they going to make him come after Del Rio? I guess when I was thinking about it before, Team America, who's more American than John Cena? He's the American hero. He's the true definition of a patriot. So I think Cena would be a perfect fit for that group. He could be the leader of the team, and they certainly, if they want to do that. So so do they want to throw Cena in the world title mix? A Cena versus Sheamus match. That's an option. But so I have no idea. Where does Cena kind of fit in this whole scheme of things? I'm not sure. So I think they'll just kind of plant him in there and kind of throw him up against somebody. Cena and Del Rio have a proper program. Could be okay. It'd be okay to see that. So it's an option. But I'm not exactly sure where they're going to go with Cena. But he's going to be back soon, so we'll wait and find out. So obviously the big thing for me this week is gaming. So what is Brendan playing this week? GTA Vice City is what I've been playing. It's a throwback to my favorite game of all time. I get this question all the time. What is my favorite game? And after playing GTA Vice City, it's without a doubt, it's GTA Vice City. It's Grand Theft Auto. My favorite game of all time. As a kid, I loved this game, and yes, I played it as a kid. I think, 7 or 8 years old when this game came out, and I played a lot of it, and I loved it. Mind you, I didn't understand it all completely back then, and some of the missions, it's quite funny that, you go back, and when you play it when you're a kid, when you're little, there's these missions that are so hard. I don't know if you guys have played GTA Vice City, but if you have, there's a mission called Demolition Man, I think it is. It's the one where you're this tiny little helicopter and you have to grab the bombs and you have to plant them in the right spot. If you've ever played it, you know what I mean. It's a bitch of a mission. As a kid, I could never, ever finish it. I may have done it once. I think I may have begged my brother to try and do it for me. I could never do it. It was just too hard. It's funny. I went and played it yesterday, and I did the mission first go. I first go with like 3 minutes to spare. It was just ridiculously easy. I was wondering myself, what the hell was my problem back then? This is so easy. And another one, I think it was called the World Fastest Boat or something like that. And it was a mission where you had to get a boat. Well, you went and retained a boat, and you had to do a bit of a race to get the cargo before these other enemies. And as a kid, I could never beat the boats. I was always too slow. I would always crash. I could never control a boat. I could never do it. Gone back and done it for the first time on the PS4. Got it first go. So it's just incredible that these missions that you could never do as a kid, you come back, you're a little older, you're a little wiser, obviously double the age, so I'm a bit older, and you could do it first go. It's just incredible. But it goes to show that even after all these years, you still remember the game. You still know what you see a mission. You're like, shit, not this one. I played it a few times since if the kind of first had it on the PS2. I bought the PS2 Classic on the PS3, so I played that a little bit, but I didn't really get all that far into it. Certainly not as far as I'm into it now. I'm halfway through the game already, but GTA Vice City will always have a special place in my heart. And now that it has trophies, I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. San Andreas now on the PS4. I actually bought it on the PS3. The big, I didn't know. I had no idea it was coming on the PS4. And last week it released on the PS3. And I thought there was no way they're bringing out Vice City and GTA 3 or San Andreas on the PS4. Lo and behold, a week later, they're on the PS4. So I gone fucked up. There's no doubt about that. I fucked up. But I got it on the PS3. No real loss. The game's going to look the same. Play the same on the PS3. So I won't. My friend bought it for me on the PS4, but I won't be playing it on the PS4. I'll just finish it up on the PS3. But San Andreas, it's great to have that. That's a game I actually never finished. I don't know if I've told you this story, but I got pretty much towards the end of the game. I played a lot of it. I must have been 10 years old at the time. Maybe 9, 10 years old. I can remember when I first played GTA. I got it for Christmas when it first came out. And I remember playing it, and my parents were watching me play it, and they were like telling me that I shouldn't be playing that because I was at my grandmother's house for Christmas. Me and my brother were playing it. My brother was mainly playing it. I was watching, but my parents were telling me, you shouldn't be watching that. That's violent. It's too much swearing and all this. But I didn't give a shit, so I kept playing it, and me and my brother were loving it. But yeah, so San Andreas, I never actually finished it. I think about a year later, I was kind of playing it because my brother had the PS2 in his room, and I kind of snuck into his room whenever he was at school or wasn't home. Actually, I think he went away to boarding school. That's right. He went away to boarding school, so he was never home. And I was just sitting in his room, play the PS2, and I got halfway through the game, and I stopped playing it for a while, and then I come back to play it again. And my brother lent the disc out to one of his friends. He never got it back, and I never could play GTA San Andreas again. The disc was gone, and I never got to play it again. I was obviously 10 years old, and I lived 2 hours away from the nearest store, so I couldn't just ride my bike to the shop and re-buy it. So I could never go back and play it. So I never actually finished GTA San Andreas. So this is a chance for me to kind of get on that. And I actually never played GTA 3 either. So that's also a new experience I get to play as well. So that's something really cool. So the new GTA, I keep saying new, but the GTAs on the PS4 is something new and exciting for me to do. And they're obviously great games. So I cannot wait to get into those. And other than that, like I said, I had Just Cause 3. I haven't played yet. Need for Speed. My friend bought me those as well. I'm going to play those soon. And I think right now I'm going to be playing probably Telltale's Tale of the Borderlands and their Game of Thrones games. They're pretty easy platinum, so I'm going to try and get those. Other than that, I'm not sure. Obviously, GTA will be my main game. I might get back into Fallout, but Fallout obviously is really slow trophies, and I'm kind of focused on the trophy hunting thing for the next month or so I may not play those longer games, at least for the time being. I would love to get into Dragon Age and finish that game, and The Witcher. I would love to finish those games before I go back to college. So that's something I would like to do. So that'll be something I'll probably do in January and February. But at the moment, focused on getting those trophies. GTA is not really that great for trophies, which is why I haven't really gotten that many. But I've just been having a blast, man. It's good to get down and play a lot of games that I haven't been able to play for years, or these new games coming out that are exciting. Good time. It's a good time to be a gamer, and I'm really, really enjoying it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say in terms of that. I'll keep you updated on the other games I've been playing. And if you do want to check out what my trophies are looking like, on the forums I made a trophy kind of diary or checklist, as they like to call it, where I kind of keep track of that. So just a way you can keep track of what I'm gaming. So that's all on the forums and things like that. And also I have the second channel, Brendan's Platinums, as well, where you can see what platinums I've earned in the past and keep up to date with any platinums I get. So I don't know, I love getting trophies. I know people don't really get it or understand why, but to me, it's just a sense of accomplishment. It's just an achievement. You know, you finish a game, you feel accomplished, you feel satisfied, and I just feel happy when I get that platinum trophy. It's just like I feel achieved. I feel great. It's just like, yes, after all this time, it's just a great reward for kind of doing everything in the game. I don't know, but that's just me. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know, but so we'll have some questions this week to answer, and we'll wrap up the show. And once again, I do apologize for the whole mic thing. I don't know what. Alrighty, so we'll move on to this week's questions, and we actually don't have that many questions this week, so make sure you do leave them in the YouTube comment section down below, or over at the forums at brendanplays.com/forums. Link to that will be in the description down below, or a voicemail on the website as well. So just leave those, any question that you have, anything at all, anything that you think I may not cover on the shows, any general questions, anything, you know, doesn't have to be wrestling, can be anything you want. Leave me a question, and unfortunately we didn't get that many this week, so we'll cover those ones anyways. This first one comes from John Moynihan. Hopefully I said that one right. He said, will I be platinuming W2K16, obviously getting all the trophies on 2K16? The answer is no, because I hate playing W2K16 online. Any W game online, I just cannot do it. I hate it. I just annoys me. I don't have fun. I don't like it at all. I lag people's playing style. I just don't like it. I just don't like fighting games online because, truth be told, I'm not a good fighting game person. Fighting games are my worst type of games. It's my worst genre. So me going online and versing someone who's just spamming the same moves over and over and over, I just would rather shoot myself in the foot. So people challenge me all the time, Brendan, come play 2K online with me. Never. I've never played one game of 2K online in the last 2 years, and I probably will never play it ever again because I am just completely done with it. So no, I won't be doing that because there's a lot of online trophies. Plus, there's a lot of Universe Mode trophies, and I can't play Universe Mode properly because it's to do with my YouTube series. So, unfortunately, no platinum for me. The last WWE game I did platinum was W2K14. I did platinum. Actually, no, did I platinum? Yeah, platinum WWE12. Legends of WrestleMania, and I think that's probably just about it. So, a couple of platinums from the WWE games, but none of the new ones, unfortunately, and probably won't be anytime soon because they keep putting online trophies out. Mind you, now that the PS2 games are being remastered again, I would love to see them remaster Here Comes the Pain or Just Bring It, or one of those games, or Shut Your Mouth, or even the one, even the SmackDown vs. Raws. I doubt those ones, but any of these old wrestling games, I would love them to remake them and give them trophies, because I would definitely be trying to get those platinums. That'd be a lot of fun to do. So they want to look for a game to do. Why not bring out Here Comes the Pain? Do it. Remaster it. Put it on the PS4. I would buy it. Anyways, next one comes from Jacob Radley. Will there be a Universe Mode fan night? Now, I think this idea was discussed. I think Jacob may have brought it up before. I think it was him, maybe somebody else. I think it was Jacob, so I'll give him the credit. He brought up the idea a few weeks ago where, we have a fan night where the fans kind of pick the matches and pick, who they want to, who should verse who, or something along those lines, as a bit of a Raw or a SmackDown special for Universe Mode. I think that'd be a very cool idea. I have no plans on doing it anytime soon. I just got some other things I've got going on. Maybe for bragging rights, something like that would be pretty cool. I think a Cyber Smackdown might have been the name we kind of thought of it. I think it would be really cool. So a Cyber Smackdown special. I'd be down and I would be on board with that, because we haven't done a SmackDown special yet. We've done the old school Raw and we've done the 200th episode of Raw specials. So I would be really totally down to do a SmackDown special. I think a Cyber SmackDown would be really, really cool. So that's something I will keep in the back of my mind, and I'll try and do one soon. I just need to kind of wait for the right time. I just don't want to do one for the sake of doing one. I want to do one when it means something. So we'll see. We'll wait for the right time and we'll execute then. Next one comes from Bacon Assassin Gaming. What are your thoughts on matches where they target one part of the body? For example, Nikki targeting Charlotte's leg. Well, these matches, they make sense, because if you're in a match, think about it. You're in a match and it's a shoot. It's a real matchup. If your opponent has a weakness, for example, their leg, you're going to target that. You're going to really go after that. So if there is a weakness, you target that. So the only problem I have with it is when they target the leg and then do nothing with it in the finish. So let's say Nikki works down Charlotte's leg the whole match and then hits the elbow to win the match. I think it makes more sense if they have a submission finisher. They work down the left arm and then they hook the left arm in for an arm breaker and they win the match by submission. That makes sense. But to work down the leg the whole match and then win the matchup by a DDT, this makes no sense. So if they are going to do that, they need to use the targeted body part, the injured body part, in the finish. Now, I get it with the leg. They've worked them down so much, they can't walk properly. It leaves them exposed to do their other moves. I get that. But sometimes I think it would be cool just to see them work down a body part and use that same body part in the finish of the matchup. I have no problem when they do it, and in fact, I think it makes more sense. The only other problem I have with it as well is that if somebody works the same body part over and over, so let's say Del Rio versus Swagger, they do the left leg, Ambrose versus Owens, they do the left leg, Sheamus versus Roman Reigns, they do the left leg. If somebody does a body part earlier on, they can't do it again later in the night. And I know, Austin, for example, on his podcast was talking about this. He would watch the matches, find out what body parts they're working on, and make sure that he does a different one later on. It doesn't really happen all that much, but if it does happen, it is kind of annoying to see the same parts being worked over. It's kind of lazy, and they need to try and avoid that. But they don't really do it all that much, to be honest. But it is a little bit annoying when it does happen. But other than that, no real problems with it. I think it's a good thing, when they do target the body parts, and it makes sense. Final question today comes from Aidman. He wants to know, who do I think will face Sheamus at WrestleMania, and how will the WWE fix the tag team division? Obviously, they've kind of started with a new stable, but what will really elevate the division, in my opinion? In terms of Sheamus, really, I have no idea, honestly. I mean, if they keep the League of Nations thing going on, I could see him in a tag team match. Like I said, a Team America versus League of Nations could be an option at WrestleMania. I'd be okay with that. I think he may be in a tag team match or a battle royal. I don't think he'll have a singles match, to be honest. In terms of the tag team division, what they need is more star power. And you look at the Wyatt family, they're not competing for the tag titles. Now that you've got the League of Nations, they're not competing for the tag titles. So, you've had Reigns and Ambrose for a long time in the tag team division. They're not competing for the tag team titles. So there's a lot of teams in the division, but they're not competing for the tag team titles. You've got the Lucha Dragons, you've got the Usos. Now, mind you, the Usos, they've been elevated a little bit. They're working some bigger programs with Reigns and Ambrose, which is cool. And the New Day, they're just, I forgot to mention this early on, but the New Day, they're just kind of going along to every single team. 1 week, we love Sheamus. The next week, we love Team Bad. What is the New Day kind of doing now? I don't get what they're kind of doing with that. They're just, any heels, they love them and they're supporting them. I don't really get what the whole thing is with that. But anyways, what I would probably do with the tag team division is just more build-up. And there's a lack of build-up, there's a lack of storylines involved. There needs to be more storylines and more build-up. It seems like 1 week the Lucha Dragons, they get a win, and the next week they get a title shot. It should be 3 weeks in a row Lucha Dragons get some wins. And hey, whoa, the Lucha Dragons, they're picking up some steam. What about a number one contendership matchup? Let's see how they go. Then they win that, then they get a title shot. Not just, oh, we need a team to be in this match. Oh, put the Lucha Dragons in. What have they done to get a title shot? Nothing. Oh, well, that just seems to be the kind of the thinking behind everything. It happens all the time. This needs to be more build-up towards, and they need to earn that title shot and more wins. And obviously storylines. What's the storyline going on right now between the New Day, the Lucha Dragons, and the Usos? Nothing, because the Usos are too busy wrapped up in the League of Nations, and really it's just about the New Day not wanting to defend their titles. and they have to defend their titles. What's the storyline after that? Not much. So the lack of storylines in the tag team division is certainly a worrying sign as well. A little bit more star power. If they had the Wyatts go after the tag team titles, would be good. And, like I said, when these top guys in tag teams, have them focus on the tag team titles. Just make the titles mean more and have some bigger names hold them on some occasions. Or, I guess in the end you can build these guys up to become those bigger names, but, it would be good to see some of these higher profile teams that they already have gunning for these tag team titles just to get a little bit more attention to it. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Let's Talk Tuesdays. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already to see and listen to more Let's Talk Tuesday videos coming up in the future. And also check us out on Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and of course YouTube if you haven't already. And check out the website, breadandplays.com, where you can leave a voicemail. On the forums as well, you can also leave a question. Or in the YouTube comment section down below, you can leave a question for next week's episode. It will be the aftermath of TLC. So any TLC questions that you have, make sure you hit me up next week, and I will be sure to answer them. And anything to do with Raw next week as well. Or any other news tidbits that come out this week as well. A big apology again for the start of the video. The mic messed up. Oh, I feel so bad about that. But hopefully the second half was okay. And, hopefully that the first part you could bear with it. And big apologies from me. I hate it when this thing kind of happens. I swear I started the video. It was all good. And I think I kind of, plugged something else in. And it kind of messed everything up. I think, it's just a pain. But anyways, apologies from me. Hopefully things pick up. And hopefully that new internet upgrade next week. Cannot wait for that. Hopefully I'll see you guys more often in the next few weeks with more videos from me. Thanks guys for listening in. I'll see you all next Tuesday. Have a great week, guys.